There's another quarterback that's already broken a ton of records, and that would be Tom Brady, who could actually surpass 100,000 career passing yards if you combine the regular season and the postseason. He's about 2,400 yards away, David. So when does he reach that milestone?
I mean, I'm going to say week 10 in Germany against the Seahawks. Now, that would be a treat for the people in Germany to be able to see that. Not only do you get to see Tom Brady for the first time, I believe that's the first time he's been over there.
Yes.
But you also get to see him break, which is a crazy number. That is just literally insane, 100,000 passing yards. So congratulations to him already because, I mean, if we learned anything, he's going to break it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, when he retired, I sort of was upset selfishly because the fan in me wanted to continue to see him just break records, and it's nice to see something as great as the performances that he's done there, and the fans in Germany would love that. Aaron Donald knocking on the door of 100 career sacks. Does he get it in week 1? 2 away.
I absolutely love Aaron Donald. I will tell you guys that, first and foremost, one of my favorite players in the entire league. But he does not get it for 2 reasons. He's playing against the Buffalo Bills in week 1, and I actually like Buffalo's front line. But secondly, Aaron Donald historically starts the season out slow. He doesn't always start the season out strong, but he finishes strong in a way that nobody else is capable of finishing. I call it the Aaron Donald way. That's how he finishes the season. He just doesn't start out very strong, so I can't see him getting that in week 1.
Yeah, finishing the season strong and finishing Super Bowls fairly strong as well. Jonathan Taylor, another name. The number 16 Baldy is really significant because if he gets 16 total touchdowns this upcoming season, he'll break the record for Barry Sanders for the most total touchdowns for the first 3 years of a career. Does he get to 16?
Well, you know, Matt Ryan's coming to Indianapolis, and when Matt Ryan was a rookie in Atlanta, Michael Turner was his free agent running back that year. He was the all-pro running back, as a matter of fact. And he ran for 17 touchdowns that year. And I believe Matt Ryan has no ego in this whatsoever. Like, he'll change plays at line of scrimmage. Whatever the best play is, Matt Ryan has no problem handing the ball off to the J train. And so with that idea and with Matt Ryan there, I believe Jonathan Taylor actually breaks Barry Sanders' record, if that's even conceivable.
Yeah, look, the dude is just, he was ridiculous last year, you know, in that MVP conversation. The guy who's got some MVP hardware is another quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, who could potentially lead the NFL in passer rating for 3 consecutive years. It's only happened 2 other times. Steve Young did it 4 straight years. Peyton Manning, when he was with the Colts, speaking of the Colts, he did it 3 straight years. Is Rodgers going to go 3 in a row?
I believe he will. I think that's his deal. Like, he finds a way to find completions. So I know he has some receivers, and he's not sure who his main guy is going to be yet, but he knows his system really well. So he's going to find a way to get the ball out of his hands and into those guys' hands because he's got to learn. He's got to find out. Is it going to be Allen Lazard? Is it going to be his backs? I mean, who's going to be the main guy here? So quarterback rating has never been a problem. I mean, are they going to find their way into the playoffs? I think that's probably the biggest question for Aaron. That's what he wants to know. I think the quarterback rating thing is going to take care of itself.
Yeah, look, we will have a conversation about Devontae Adams, by the way, which I know is one of your favorite topics.
Oh, yes.
That's a little bit later here in the show. Let's go a little more defense here. T.J. Watt could lead the NFL 3 consecutive years in sacks. Just in case you're wondering, that's never happened before. Does it happen this year?
He will absolutely lead the NFL in sacks for a 3rd year. And the reason why I think that, because when you look at T.J. Watt, he's physically gifted in a way that a lot of us just wasn't blessed with. But one of the things that sets him apart from other guys is his ability to work hard, play in and play out. He's going 100 miles per hour every single play. And I think a little bit of T.J. Watt wants to separate himself from his brother. His brother has had a legacy that he developed and he started a long time ago. And T.J. want to show, hey, I'm not just a little brother. I'm here to stay.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, just sort of trying to separate himself. Baldy, the number 994 is significant because if Travis Kelce gets that number in terms of receiving yards, he would be the 5th tight end to have 10K in terms of those receiving yards. Something tells me you think it's a layup that he gets 1,000 yards this year.
It's a layup. I mean, it's a LeBron James layup, to be honest with you. I mean, he falls out of bed and gets 1,000 yards receiving. And now it's not just Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. I mean, with Alex Smith, he was getting 1,000 yards a season. The system is made for Travis Kelce. And with the loss of Tyreek Hill, his targets might go way up this year. He's going to be the one guy, red zone, 3rd down, need a play. They're looking for Travis Kelce. He's excellent beyond the X's and O's. He's an excellent route runner. He knows how to catch the ball in traffic. I mean, he's just an elite player. and his skill set hasn't diminished at all. He'll keep that train rolling, and we'll see him get 10,000 yards.
TD, you're not actually buying the 1K for him.
Listen, Baldy, I love you a lot, man, and I respect a lot of what you say, but I'm telling you right now, and you made it very clear, the reason that he won't get it, though, is because Tyreek Hill is gone. When you have a guy like Tyreek Hill on your team, he commands a lot of attention. He changes what defenses have to do to defend them. Now, these defenses are going into these games, and they're going to be like, no Tyreek Hill here. We're going to double Travis Kelce. We're going to make sure that we have 4 eyes on him at all times, and they're going to take that away. It's going to force Patrick Mahomes to find somebody else, and therefore I do not think that he's going to get 1,000 yards as easy as you think, Baldy.
Thomas, I love and respect you, Thomas, and your knowledge of football is supreme. But this is why he is such an elite player. Because even without Tyreek Hill, and even with the double teams in bracket coverage and linebackers actually trying to bump him off the line of scrimmage, which I don't know why they don't do that to begin with. Like, they just know how to move him in space, Thomas, to get him away from the doubles, to get him away from the bracket coverage. They have a system that's made for Travis Kelce to be successful in, and he'll continue that success, I believe.
All right.
Baldy, before we got out here, I was looking at some of the research notes here. Really, I caught my eye. Kelce, 1,000+ receiving yards in each of the last 6 seasons. No other tight end has ever had more than 4 in his entire career. The guy is an absolute monster. But to your point, we'll find out at the end of the season if it's
He's a tough cover, for sure. I'll tell you that.